odd numbers I lead in?
Odd numbers. I don't think it really cares.
Matters?
No, I don't think the episode really cares whether or not you lead in or if I lead in.
Okay, you want to lead in?
Okay, fine.
Hey! Paisanos, it's the... Excuse me, princess. Super Show!
Hello and welcome back to the Excuse Me Princess Super Show, where we watch every episode of the Super Mario Super Show and the Legend of Zelda in air-to-date order and go over how much rage it brings us. Well, we discuss it. John, are you here today?
I'm John. Yes, that is what we do, and that's what we're doing today, and...
We have a treat for you.
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend that no one watch this episode and just listen to the podcast instead.
Yeah, normally this is the part where we tell you that you can legally watch the episodes we're watching on the Wild Brain Superheroes YouTube channel, but I really wouldn't bother with this one.
No.
But, and also, I do want to drop in now, before I forget, we mentioned very early on that people are restoring the episodes. They're doing a bit of upscaling and also putting the cover songs back in. All the episodes are done now, all 65, or at least all 53. So, if you want to check it out in slightly higher than 146p quality, you can do that.
Yes, you can. Except for this episode. This episode, just ignore every part of it.
Yeah. And the episodes we're telling you to ignore, but we had to watch, is the live-action segment Lost Dog, and the cartoon, wait for it, Two Plumbers and a Baby. Yes, it's that kind of cartoon. Originally aired October 2nd, 1989.
We're in October, guys.
Yeah. It took us all this time, half a year of episodes, but we finally advanced 1 month.
That's okay. This is going to be chaotic for us. This is...
You'll find out.
Yeah.
So, do you want to lead us into the live-action segment, Lost Dog?
So, it starts off as annoying as it can be, with Luigi just whistling.
Yeah, he's practicing bird calls for his birdie watchers meeting.
I thought it was birdie lovers.
Maybe that's it. I thought that was a type of pizza.
It should be.
Yeah, a turkey, chicken, duck
Ostrich.
à l'orange pizza.
So, Luigi is doing his bird calls.
Yeah, and Mario tells him to stop being so annoying in not so many words. But Luigi reminds him that apparently Mario does chipmunk impressions that are just as grating. And then the doorbell rings, as it so often does.
It's not the pizza phone this time.
No, but the pizza phone does feature prominently in the background or foreground of the episode in this case.
The one thing that I will say about this episode that is good is there's the pizza phone and the periscope.
Yeah, it's another appearance of the periscope. I think that's 3.
I think so.
We're not going to keep track of them, but this is the second time that it uses stock footage. We'll get to that in a minute. But who was at the door, Aaron?
Pam Matteson.
Matteson. Pam Matteson. Anyway.
Pammy!
Yeah. It's the lady who played Cher.
Playing herself this time.
Playing herself. And she's lost her dog.
And she is fake crying like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah. And Luigi gives her his back pocket rag to dry her tears, and they do the bit of the person blows their nose in it instead.
Yeah.
And
we cut to the cartoon for an hour and a half of torture.
Yeah. We're released from purgatory just as Pam's actually explaining what happened.
Well, I guess she does explain that her dog went missing. Yeah. And they describe a dog, and she's like, no, just a small trim.
Oh, no. Okay, the bit what they were doing. Oh, nuts. Now I can't remember. She was quoting lines from Oh, where is my little dog gone? Oh, where can he be? And then Mario and Luigi quote another line from it, like with the cut short hair or something. And then she says, no, just a little trim. Or, no, he just had a trim, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not important, and it's not funny.
No. And it's not charming, it's not cool, It's
not magic.
I almost wish it was magic.
He would have had to show up for that one. There is no way he would show up in their Matteson cabinet and say, hey, Mario, I lost my dog.
I mean...
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
That would have been more entertaining, I will say that.
And the dog was still in the pasta sauce. But
don't call health and safety.
No. I don't think the Mario Brothers want health and safety in that apartment. Yeah, even just before their mama comes and they clean up.
Yeah. There's gonna be black mold on the pizza phone.
The phone is the black mold on the pizza. The pizza otherwise looks fine. The mold is the mutation.
If you ever wondered how to get technology, it's just mold. Oh, just leave your...
Dudes like penicillin on your pizza. Oh, I think I did that already a long time ago.
Oh,
I gotta rewatch the original Ninja Turtles movie again. I love that movie. But anyway, so they eventually get around to telling her they'll help her find the dog.
And then we have to watch the cartoon.
No, this is after the cartoon. We're released from purgatory again.
That was straight up hell.
Yeah, what was the Periscope after the Zelda cliffs?
No, before. Because after the Zelda cliffs is when Luigi's doing the call for the dog.
Right, okay, how it goes is Luigi's looking through the Periscope for the dog, and he sees some black and white footage of a dog sled team. Probably from, like, Nanook of the North or something. Or just whatever public domain footage, whatever the producers were at. And then, calling back to the bird call thing, they wonder if Luigi could do dog calls.
If you want to meet sled dogs, I have an opportunity for you to do that. Do you know that you can meet sled dogs on your next cruise? This is a drop-in from Aaron the Travel Plan Man for our sanity. Contact Aaron the Travel Plan Man on Facebook, TikTok, and Smoke Signals.
Yeah, the smoke signals are coming from under Aaron's collar.
Oh, actually, the live-action part of it is the best part of this episode, and that's saying something.
It's saying nothing. But, so, we cut to Mario's looking for something in the fridge, but he claims he's looking for the dog in there. And instead of trying to use it as a way to distract someone, Luigi just turns to us and says, watch these clips from this Friday's Legend of Zelda. He's like, I know you don't want to be watching this.
Yeah.
But, it's like after Itchy and Scratchy are gone. But stay tuned. We got some great toy commercials coming up, I swear. Meanwhile, one of Aaron's cats is trying to take a piece out of my leg. Anytime we get in front of the microphones, these cats decide they suddenly like me. And they show next Friday's episode. Do you have any recollection from what you've seen of this coming up Zelda?
No.
Okay, well, I won't say anything. I won't even give away the title away. I mean, half of the preview clip, as usual, is basically the entirety of the opening. So then we cut back, and it's the moment of truth for the dog calls.
Yes, and it is very impressive if it was so staged.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what? It's very in line with the way these live-action segments are done.
It is.
Basically, Luigi says, I'm going to do this call, and then they just play some animal noises.
Yeah.
Well, Danny Wells waves his elbows. And they do that a few times, and then think of actually asking Pam what kind of dog it is.
And what was it? Poodle, Basset Hound, Little Rock and Roll, Little Country Cross, something like that.
Yeah, and half mutt.
Yeah.
And that works.
Yeah.
A scruffy little dog comes down the stairs, suitably adorable.
We have to touch one thing. It is not the same dog.
No, yes, we were speculating not one episode ago, but 2 episodes ago, when I falsely tried to lead Aaron towards this one instead of Zelda episode 4, that we thought they might use the same dog that was Cher's Poochie.
It is not. This is a much more adorable dog.
Yeah.
And has a lot less leg humping.
But this dog also seems less of an actor than the other dog, if that makes any sense. This dog didn't seem all that comfortable being paraded around.
No, and it seemed almost forced out of the door.
Yeah.
To come down the stairs.
Get in there. But the dog that played Cher's Poochie, it was a stage dog.
Yeah.
It's used to ignoring the cameras, ignoring everything else. Although it mostly played the part of lying there.
If you told me that was Pam's dog that she brought in for the first recording session, and someone enjoyed this live action enough to invite her back, but this time with a dog that they were comfortable with, I'd believe it.
I'd ask what they were on to follow that line of reasoning, but I'd believe it. What kind of producer sits in a chair, smoking a big cigar, and thinks, okay, I like Pam. I like what she brings to the table. There's 2 things I don't like. I don't like that dog, and I don't like that she's not Cher. But I feel like I could make this work. Time for an early lunch.
The type that just did a couple lines of cocaine and maybe is smoking more than just a cigarette.
Well, I said cigars. That is more than a cigarette. But yes, I take your meaning. Because it's Mario, dude, and they're all on drugs and mushrooms, man.
Oh.
We haven't even gotten to... Oh, God. I don't want to ruin the surprise for Aaron, but one of the episodes we're going to be seeing, not soon, its live-action segment is a little odd. And if you know... You know.
Is it Cheech and Chong?
You will be praying for Cheech and Chong when you see what happens. But that's not for a long ways yet. So in the meantime, all's well that ends well. They found the dog, and the ending beat is fairly funny. Some puppeted dog silhouettes start running in front of that window because all the other dog calls worked too.
Yeah. So James Murray put in a full day's work again. Half day's work. He did some shadow puppetry. He's
probably the guy who closed the door behind the guests, because the guests never closed the door.
But
is that shadow? Like, I mean, okay, technically that is shadow puppetry, but it's not what we think of when you think of shadow puppetry. You think of actually making the shapes. You know, I'm doing the duck thing with my hand right now to Aaron.
No, he's actually doing a very impressive Tyrannosaurus Rex eating a sheep.
Now, hang on. That's this one. There.
Now it's a duck.
Now it's a duck. Oh, it's a donkey.
Oh.
But, so, bottom third, but I'd say top of bottom third or bottom of middle third even.
I'd put it was securely in top of bottom third, above everything magic, above the last time Pam was on here.
Yeah, as bad as the Cher. Yeah, I would put it above the Cher thing, because the Cher thing was... Well, let's see. How did it make us feel? Angry, cramped, voyeuristic, and what was the fourth?
Empty?
Empty.
Yeah. Not in that order.
Pardon me. I had to...
Yeah. This is going to be either our best episode yet, or our worst episode yet.
Regardless of your opinion, like, comment, and subscribe if you want to get more.
Oh.
But, Pam Matteson, she's been on the show before, so we don't have to go into that. Unless you have anything new you need to add.
Episode 14, she was on the show. She played Cher. She did not play Cher's Poochie.
No.
That was a better actor.
She also barely played Cher.
No.
Yeah, Lou Albano played Cher's Poochie for most of the episode. Yeah. That's like saying, oh yeah, the guy who played Captain Kirk's evil twin, he was great. That's way better than William Shatner.
Oh. Actually, how would you actually rate Danny Wells and Lou Albano in this episode?
They were trying to elevate the material. Like, I give them a lot of credit. They throw themselves into this.
They do.
But and it shows, Danny Wells is a character actor. He's an old hand. And Lou Albano is, a former pro wrestler and then one of those fake wrestling managers. Like, he's a performer.
Yeah.
These guys, they work in the room, an empty room, which we're only starting to understand the layout of after some extensive research on my part. We even checked some of the DVD extras, which promised a tour of the Mario Brothers plumbing basement and showed us one big black and white sketch that crammed everything together in the wrong places. Oh, that was my best lead. But I think I've got a good handle on it now. But anyway, no. To answer your question, I think they did well. But there was no saving it.
Yeah, despite them being the best parts of this episode, it still wasn't enough to save the episode. And there's nothing saving what comes next.
No. Well, this one, it was so low. Well, they're all low stakes, but it was low energy. It was just 90% of it was them standing around talking to each other.
And it wasn't like...
And not in the Cher's Poochie way.
No.
Which at least had the giant pizza oven thing.
Yeah. And the pizza oven this time wasn't as grand. Even though it did ring.
Oh,
you
said the pizza oven wasn't as grand.
Yeah, the pizza oven.
As it so often does. What are you actually talking about?
The pizza phone rang this episode.
Oh, yeah, because...
Thinking that it was Cher's Poochie. No, it was just Luigi's friend from the Bird Lovers Association.
Ask him where the hell Luigi is. Maybe Luigi was his ride.
Yeah.
No, I didn't forget about the blah, blah, blah. Yeah, see you there. Yeah, but it was like 90% of it was just the three of them standing in front of the staircase, trading jokes back and forth.
Air quotes.
Yes. So, yeah, as you said only a couple episodes again, I believe in the bottom third.
Yeah. I do believe in the bottom third. This is gonna be, like
you said, have to cut it into quarters?
Not yet,
no.
But I think next is gonna be sixths, actually.
Well, we'll see. But, alright. Do you want to transition into the cartoon from here? Get hooked on the brothers?
I think this is a perfect time to get hooked on the brothers.
Excellent.
Now, Evil Koopa and his troopers are up to misbehaving. They kidnapped the Princess Mushroom Land needs saving. Abusing and confusing everybody discovers they can't help but be hooked on the brothers.
Oh, God help us. Okay.
2 Plumbers and a Baby.
Yeah, I even wrote 3 Plumbers and a Baby twice. Because that's the name of the movie. It's the joke is 3 men and a baby. But it's 2 plumbers and a baby. Toad's not a plumber. He's just a toad.
Yeah.
He's a mushroom man.
He's a mushroom orphan. At least soon he will be.
Yeah.
He's not a good mushroom father.
Hey, Toad Man, get that kid out of my pool.
Okay,
yeah.
They are in a new land.
The Kingdom of Youth.
Yes.
Be afraid. And the
ruler of the Kingdom of Youth.
Well, there's no ruler, but a guy who's kind of oppressing it. King Koopa is being called Goo Goo Gaga Koopa. And it's terrible.
Yes, we'll get into that shortly.
Right away.
Right after the Eyeless Man.
Yeah, so it's the plumber's log. They're in the Kingdom of Youth to stop King Koopa from abusing the Fountain of Youth. And they're following a trail of footprints with magnifying glasses. And then they get to the end of the trail. Toad picks the footprint up off the ground and says, "This is the last track." Or the end of the tracks or whatever.
And that was the last good joke of the episode.
Pretty much. The Mario, did he say something about being hungry at that point?
Oh, yes. That's good, because this is the end of the trail mix.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was actually not bad.
No.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Sorry, I can't do Toad's voice. This is... Yeah.
sorry, guys. This is the end of the trail. I can't do it good either, but at least I know I'm doing it bad, so...
Yeah. Well, that's good, because this is the end of the trail mix. See, I can't do Lou Albano. I can do a decent Danny Wells Luigi. But anyway, so...
That's good, because this is the end of the trail mix.
Hey, paisanos. It's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
It's me, Mario.
Yeah, was with the black and white photo of Chris Pratt. It is me, Mario.
Oh, yeah.
He did all right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Bottom third.
yeah. So they get down there, and but they spot these three horrifying old men.
One has eyeballs. One has glasses. One has ping pong balls.
Or eggs. Sorry, guys, if you hear anything, Aaron's dog's in a timeout and he's pissed off about it.
And he's hearing us say his name over and over again.
Yeah, that's the problem. So if we say Bowser, it's because we're trying to avoid the K word. Anyway, so these old dudes, like a couple canes, glasses on one, shades on one, and one who has no eyeballs. He has white...
Spheres.
No, they're not spheres. They're not round. They're like ovals, but they're tilted outward as if they're supposed to be glasses, but they didn't draw the arms on them.
Or the connector.
Or they just drew white eyes with no pupils. And it's not a mistake because, as we soon learn, they did it on purpose. So these dudes... okay. We don't usually go into the way the backgrounds look. They're all usually pretty abstract. But the Kingdom of Youth
is a nursery.
It's a nursery. The trees have like green storybooks for leaves. Everything's made out of old wooden building blocks with alphabet on them. The top of the castle. The castle looks like baby bottles with big nipples. Hopefully we don't get censored. We don't get canceled for saying the word nipples. Like the algorithm doesn't come down on us. You know, it's not like we had to say unalive.
Yeah.
But the
breast tips.
That's much better. So these three dudes slide down this slide. It's like a play place McDonald's slide. And they mention they're heading to the Fountain of Youth. And so the Mario crew slide on down. And we get there. And the Fountain of Youth is like a wading pool with a shower head pipe thing feeding into it.
Spray park.
It's
like a spray park into a pool.
Yeah, it's a wading pool, spray park thing, yeah. I say wading pool because a full-grown adult, doesn't last very long in there, is only up to about their ankles.
Yeah.
So anyway, these dudes get in, but just before they do, here comes King Goo Goo Gaga Bowser. Sorry, gotta do it. And it's... Yes, that. It's awful.
If you couldn't hear it, the K word just sighed in agony.
It was awful. It's the character. See, now I'm trying to do it on purpose and it's worse. So anyway, but Bowser is dressed up as a giant baby. On purpose. Before he gets turned into a kid at the end of the episode. Because you know that's what's going to happen.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
For a show that came out in the 80s. Before some of our listeners were even alive.
And before any of them developed taste. Oh wait, they're listening to this.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I hope eventually you develop taste. But before you develop taste, please...
like, comment, and subscribe.
And please buy our merch.
Yeah, we don't have any, but, you know. set aside a $5 bill with a sticky note on it that says, "For John and Aaron."
Oh, yeah.
You'll know what it means when you suddenly grow up. So, no, okay. Diaper. Baby bonnet. Was there anything?
Bib?
Yes. I think that was it. Did he have a rattle? I think he sometimes had a rattle.
Yeah, they used more as a scepter, but yeah.
Yeah, scepter rattle, a rattle scepter. And it's awful. It's exactly what you think it is, but made worse because his tail stays inside the diaper.
Oh.
And it looks like it's a full diaper sometimes.
And we haven't even gotten into any of the animation errors.
Oh God, that's its own little end of the round segment, which is good because I'll just mention now, it's written by Sean Roche and David Ehrman, who previously wrote Love 'Em and Leave 'Em. So we don't have to go into that, except to say that at least this time they put King Koopa in it, and they put King Koopa in a diaper.
In a full diaper.
God's sake, they filled the diaper with King Koopa, I think is the way to put it. So.
If this has excited anyone, I fear for them.
But anyway, before the old dudes get in, Bowser turns because there's a setting. If you turn this valve on the side of the pipe that sprays out into the Fountain of Youth, you can adjust how young the person will turn. And he blasts it all the way on, which is what turns people into little bitty babies.
So these 3 get into the Fountain of Youth and turn into a baby.
Because the 3 of them turn into a baby.
Yes.
With no eyes. Oh, yeah. So the one with no eyes, when he's a baby, he still has no eyes.
Yeah.
And it's
horrifying.
Yeah, it's like Little Orphan Annie pupilless eyes, but worse. And they're terribly drawn babies.
Daddy Rich Bucks.
Yeah. Warbucks.
Nah, it's Rich Bucks now.
So they're horrible, they're terrible, they're awful, they're drawn badly. It sucks and I hate it. And the reason it's happening
is the slave trade.
Again, well, it is and it isn't, and it's, oh God. So
it's child labor.
But they don't seem to actually be doing anything. There's some weird...
They're connected to a whole bunch of mechanisms that turn cogs in a machine that we don't know what's happening with. And
yeah.
I want to deep dive into what's happening in the Kingdom of Youth, that these machines need to work, whether or not it's, running the fountain, rejuvenating the water. Is this the leading cause of climate change?
Yeah.
Is this what turns the freaking frogs gay?
Don't hit the table. Stop kicking the desk. And so Bowser, we still have to censor his name. He's using these kids to do all this stuff. They're polishing floors. They're doing stuff in this fortress. They're turning the mysterious thing, which
turns the freaking frogs.
Well, I was going to say it's turning the little dessert carousel, like in The Simpsons. The Homer down in the dungeon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You ever wonder what makes it turn?
We didn't go to how these kids were captured.
No, we didn't. But, what I was going to lead into it is because Bowser reveals that his plan is to capture them, and he's been doing it before. But anyway, yeah, so the kids are out of the fountain, and here comes big baby Koopa. And flippin' heck, it's awful. Albatosses are swooping down, dropping bombs that they're the least lethal bombs yet.
But most effective.
Outside of the itching powder. Which actually, that didn't seem to affect the princess, so. They turn into nets.
Yeah. They
explode or poof, and a net drops on. I think later on he just calls them bomb nets or net bombs.
Yeah.
And he captures the little twerps in these nets and puts them to work in his vague factory or fortress. It's the nipple fortress.
I'm pretty sure you mean breast tip.
The breast tip fortress. Oh, yes. And Simon Belmont slayed Dracula by storming the castle breast tip. And it's like half built out of building blocks and stuff, but yeah, he's putting these kids to work, but he says something like, you're gonna do all the chores,
so I don't have to.
Or because I don't wanna. Or he's talking like a baby, but he like halfway through the episode he realizes he is, and so he says, I've been around these brats for too long. Because he's later on when during a different chase, he says, stop doing that or I'll tell on you. And then he's like, I've been around these brats for too long.
Yeah.
So at least it shows that it's a hell of his own making, which is good. And so anyway, they want to sneak in and try and save the babies. But Toad is standing next to the princess or next to Mario, and Mario trips and he knocks over the block walls, and Koopa sends the Koopa Pack to attack. And they're all riding Ostros, but they're wooden Ostros on a wheel, like a rocking horse, kind of. And the Koopa Troopas are also wearing diapers. And their weapon, instead of their spears they usually have, are giant diaper safety pins. Which is, it's so weird that the cartoon ideal, if you'll pardon the expression, of the diaper still is fastened by a safety pin. In 1989. I know it's like storybook imagery, but come on.
Yeah.
But, so they chase the crew outside. Something happens and the princess falls in the water.
Yes. So they get her out and she turns into a baby. Hijinks ensue. We hate this.
We hate it. Genie Elias has to do annoying baby talk, which it doesn't usually devolve into goo goo gaga, but it's almost more annoying because you say,
Uncle Ichi.
Yeah, baby wants X, baby wants Y.
And every, half second is another turn and another diversion and another not moving anything anywhere, but the princess is in more and more danger.
Yeah, which the idea is kind of, it's the old, the baby keeps crawling off and the grown-ups have to save it from peril, and, it's not new, but it's done so badly here. And the thing is they're stalling because
and rushing.
Yeah. Well, they're waiting to sneak back to the fountain and the fortress at night.
Yes.
So until then, they have to take care of baby princess. Baby Peach. Just put her in a go-kart and she'll be fine.
Yeah.
And it's awful. It's all awful. There's, what's the first thing?
That wasn't the tree, but it was... Was it the tree?
No, it wasn't the tree. It was... First thing, when they're running away from Koopa, she pulls a plunger out of Mario's back pocket and nails Koopa in the face. That was neat.
Yeah.
And they get away. And then they... Because, it's the bit where the baby wanders off and gets in trouble. And the first one was her... So I'm cheating and having a quick thing at the synopsis here.
That's okay. This episode is not worth remembering. It's not worth watching.
Yeah,
Mario,
Mario
not worth writing about.
No,
it
wasn't worth writing. So no, Mario is like, he says, I know about baby Brussels sprouts, mini frozen pizzas, and tiny tortellinis, but nothing about babies. Toad says it'll be easy. They just gotta feed her when he's hungry, wash her when she's dirty, and they're swinging her. And then they realize she's no longer on the swing. She's climbing the branch of the tree.
Yeah. So it was the tree first.
It was the tree first. And Mario climbs the tree to get the princess to climb to him, but the branch breaks and he falls off.
Same with the princess, but she lands safely on a storybook leaf.
Yeah, well, he lands in the mud, and there's something about Uncle Mario make mud pies.
Yeah. No, this time he landed in a pile of leaves.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Then she falls again into a cliff, and he takes off in a storybook leaf glider.
Yeah, because the princess bounced towards this chasm and is hanging on another branch, and Mario swoops down with a quickly made hang glider to go get her, and it works, and then she starts tickling him. And they bail out, and that's when he lands in the mud and she lands in safety. And mud pies. And
then he goes to the river.
Then the river, because they're cleaning off the princess and Mario.
Yeah.
And Toad makes her a pinwheel made out of like leaves or something, or maybe the pinwheel leaf plant is part of the Youth Kingdom decor. Either one is plausible. In fact, it makes a little more sense if it is. If it's a naturally growing pinwheel plant. And Peach is sitting on a little raft for some reason instead of on the riverbank.
To progress the story.
Yeah, and starts getting attacked by Cheep Cheeps, as Aaron mentioned. Because she blows on the pinwheel and it somehow acts as a fan that scoots her in the raft further down the river. Which doesn't make any sense. But that's, those are the things we can ignore about this Mario cartoon specifically. But anyway, Cheep Cheeps.
Was there another waterfall? I can't remember.
No, I thought it was going to lead to a waterfall, and it didn't. If I remember correctly, it was...
Cheep Cheeps
are biting pieces of her raft off, and then they really go after Luigi and Mario and Toad. Oh, the princess picks up one of the Cheep Cheeps and chucks it at them.
Yeah.
And then one of the Cheep Cheeps, they climb up the tree, the Cheep Cheep chews it down like a beaver, and it falls. But they use that as a log raft to catch up to the princess by pulling out plungers and using them as paddles. This is the part where I'm going to sneeze.
And he sneezed. It wasn't a lie.
I wasn't faking the funk. In light of the fact that I really wanted to make a nasty dunk. But I don't have the opportunity here. Check the medicine cabinet for Magic Johnson.
I've been doing that every night since episode 19.
You stand in the mirror and say Magic Johnson 3 times.
I say it 2.5. I get Magic Johnson, Magi.
If your Magic Johnson lasts more than 4 hours, consult a physician. I said physician.
You should also consult your magician.
Harry Blackstone Jr.
Yes.
Oh. Okay, so they catch up to the princess, and maybe there is a waterfall?
No, I think at that point they try to get her to bed.
Yes, they have her in a hammock. They're trying to get her to go to sleep, and Toad distracts her with some fireflies he pulls out of nowhere. And they amuse her for a second, and then when she's far enough away in the frame, they stop animating any fireflies around her. And they talk about how much it sucks looking after her, and they turn around and she's gone again. And she's following the fireflies back to the Fountain of Youth and the Nipple Fortress,
where we get our next past the power count. And our weakest one yet.
Yes, but before that, since the river chase was the last instance of it, we should talk about the cover song very quick. It plays 3 times during this episode, and it's a cover of Baby... Is it Babysitting or Babysitter Boogie?
I want to say it's Babysitter
Boogie. Babysittin' Boogie. By... my rub sheet went all funky. Here we go. Babysittin' Boogie by Buzz Clifford. If you're unfamiliar with it, fair enough. So are we. And it's Honestly, I don't know if it's a good cover or not. It seems like it's adequate. It's an annoying song. It's one of those songs about babies and mentions Goo Goo and stuff. I was recently told I have to stop saying a certain word so much, so... Anyway, they use it 3 times in the episode. It's replaced with that one Mario 3 cartoon song that goes like...
Which to me was actually a better song than the cover song was.
Yeah. Apparently the song is called Burn Baby Burn, and we will eventually hear it in the Mario 3 cartoon. But, for those of you who want to hear Babysittin' Boogie, thanks once again to the Super Mario Bros. Super HQ channel on YouTube, link in the description below, for the cover song that we'll be layering in right around here.
Sniveling Rugrats. A rockin' type of boogie is a kind of song that makes this little baby want to sing along when it goes. Isn't too young to really feel the beat. He rocks back and forth in his
Yo,
little
calamitous clam sauce. Koopa's capturing all those children.
speed. And he sings.
So Mario says that all they need to do is get the Fountain of Youth running backwards. And they're going to need some pasta power or plumbing power.
Yeah.
But they do the Pasta Man rhyme. But they're out of sync. Danny Wells and Lou Albano were not recording it together that time. And it really doesn't work.
No.
And the problem is they could have just easily clipped it in from another episode.
Yes.
So I have no idea how it went so wrong.
Patty cake, pasta man. Give me pasta power as fast as you can.
But while they're in the middle of their plumbing magic, I think the nursery rhyme gets Koopa's attention, or...
No, he was there before.
Just as they were about to start it.
Yeah.
But they take a bunch of the pipes and stuff out of there and turn it into a giant wrench, I believe.
I think that was the point of it, but
Yeah.
it looked more like a tuning fork.
Yeah, made out of pipes. And they turn some off-screen valve deep in the ground, and they manage to get the whole thing running in reverse somehow.
Not before they get Koopa somehow into the Fountain of Youth.
Right. Yeah. Koopa, how does he get knocked into the Fountain of Youth?
Was he on one of those wooden horse things?
Yeah, the wooden Ostros.
Yeah.
And he, does it blow up somehow?
I don't know. Was he catapulted with the wrench thing?
Yeah, they used it as like a pitchfork, not in a stabby way, but in a bailing way. And they like flung him up and over.
Yeah. Into the Fountain of Youth, and he said something after he turned immediately into baby Koopa.
Yeah, he popped up, unlike the princess who got out of the pool and then had a bit of a fadey dissolved shrinking animation. Koopa just gets in the water, stands up, he's baby Koopa.
And he goes, "I'll get even for this when I grow up."
And then kind
storms
of
off,
moans and groans, goes something. And
Goo Goo Gaga Koopa.
And
it will be back in the next episode.
Yeah, you're stuck with this for now. And he looks less like a baby when he's a baby, because he loses the bonnet.
And the bib.
Still got the diaper, I think, but
yes, he did
matter.
Still have the diaper, but...
So then they reverse the polarity of the neutron flow, and turn the old bastards back into old bastards, and reverse the aging on the princess as well.
And now she's a grandmother.
Yes. But no, so everything is back to normal, and there was a pasta joke, I think. Or, it was,
the only thing I want to sit for is a big meal or something like that.
Yeah, you'd make it, if you guys ever give up being plumbers, you'd make crazy babysitters. Right now, the only sitting I'm interested in is sitting down for a big meal.
Yeah.
Not the worst.
Unlike this episode. This episode?
Could your dog drink any louder?
Yes.
Good God.
Great Balls of Fire?
Yeah. I'm not a flop anymore.
Ugh.
So.
Lore or filler?
Yes. Okay, let's get into this, because we do forget this sometimes, since it was a new gimmick on our last recording session. Filler. Moving on.
Elaborate, please.
I wish it didn't exist. It's filler like the toothpaste you put in the wall to paint over because you're out of anything that you're supposed to be using.
And you're moving out, and it's just the right color that you think the landlord isn't going to notice.
Yeah. You're strongly considering leaving your autographed picture of Adam West behind just to cover the hole in the wall. Besides, you got plenty of spares. You keep them with the Velvet Elvis. Oh, that's a good gimmick. Every time you move out of a house, you leave it completely empty, but for a single Velvet Elvis.
I prefer leaving my Elvet Velvis.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, but yeah, no, this is
it's
along with the trash that needs to be taken out. Like,
oh God, this is the trash that falls out of the bag on the way to the dumpster because you sent your kid to do it, and the kid drags it across the driveway instead of lifting it.
This is the trash where on a hot summer day you open the dumpster and you have the regret immediately. And you think you should have just kept that bag that you were taking that has nothing but newspapers that you wanted to take to recycling, but it's just a little too far.
Yeah, because only one side of your building has a blue bin, but there's a green bin on both sides.
Yeah. And you open it, and you know that you're stuck with that taste in your mouth for the next 45 minutes to an hour. No matter how much mouthwash, vodka, water, or just straight up acid you drink.
Yeah. And then you still do forget about it quickly because there was a wasp in the dumpster and it stung you. That's what this episode is. In terms of lore or filler. Yeah, those are our three categories. Lore, filler, or the trash that should have been taken out.
Oh.
So, let's see. So, we did the cover song. We get into the cast. All right. Danny Wells as Luigi and Old Man Number 1.
Oh, good.
Lou Albano as Mario. Jeannie Elias as Princess Toadstool.
And Old Man Number 2.
No.
Oh.
But John Stalker is Toad and Old Man Number 3.
Oh, good.
That's the one without eyes, I think.
I thought he was going to be the one with the glasses.
And Harvey Atkin as King Koopa, Old Man Number 2, the Koopa Troopa, and the Albatross, which I don't remember saying anything, but I was pretty checked out. And yeah. So, as we mentioned before, the writers Sean Roche and David Irvin, who previously wrote Love 'Em and Leave 'Em, which we actually kind of liked.
Yeah.
It was a stock bit, but it was presented well. And it didn't have King Koopa dressed as a giant baby. And it didn't have baby talk stuff and
Is this
baby
a new
hijinks.
So we have foot stuff. We had bondage in the Dracula episode. Is this a new kink that has been introduced into the show, or has it been done before?
It's been done before.
Right, episode 1.
Episode 1. It had Toad being forced into that lifestyle, and Koopa just embraced it as part of his gimmick for the episode. It's awful.
This is the... I'm sure there are going to be much better episodes in the future, because it can only go horizontal to up from here, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is the worst Mario cartoon so far.
Yes.
Which is good. I'm sure when we do our season finale ranking video, this will be the first one to go into the F category.
Yeah. FFF?
Triple F. So, that being said,
Yeah.
how would you rate this episode, Aaron?
1 extra full diaper out of 10.
That sounds about right. I'm glad you went for the diaper thing because I didn't want to. Yeah, it had one or two decent lines, and that's the only thing that keeps it from being an absolute zero.
Wait, zero's an option?
I don't know, it hasn't come up before. I think the worst we've ever given is 4.5. But
This is a 1 for me.
Yeah, this is it. I'd say a 1. There's gonna be something funny. Oh,
One
crud.
eyeless creep.
Yeah. No, that would have to be 2s.
That would be a 0.
Yeah. This episode is one old bastard who gained his youth but never got his eyes back. But he seemed happy enough about it.
Especially after he turned back into an old bastard.
Yeah. They were, yeah, that's right. When the old guys got turned back, they were happy about it. They could stay up as late as they wanted again.
Oh.
Of course, they conveniently didn't pick their canes back up, so maybe the dial was put just a little further down.
Yeah. Instead of being 92, they're 87.
Yeah.
Which makes Princess Peach 15.
Princess who?
Yes. Yes. You can celebrate on this.
I will.
Well, this calls for a celebration. I will.
It's letter time. It's letter time. Hey, we're back again with another mailbag, and it's a special mailbag. You know why it is, Aaron?
Is it because we got a letter from the late, great Mozart?
Also that, but also because when we complete this mailbag, we will be 100% up to date on the mailbag.
So we're reading all of Cole's comments today.
Yes, you're reading all of Cole's comments, and I'll nip out for a cup of coffee.
Sounds good. Can you grab me one too?
Yes, I'll send it with your favorite pizza guy.
A little too soon, don't you think?
What, 3 minutes is too soon? If it had been 30 minutes, your pizza would have been free.
It should have been free.
Yeah, well, and they don't even do that anymore. I don't think they do that anywhere.
But, hey, listeners, if your pizza place does 30 minutes or it's free, let us know, and we'll make a shout out on the podcast.
Yeah, it's guaranteed to get here in more than 30 minutes.
Yeah. So, may I ask, what are we doing?
You're going to read some comments.
Oh. When did I agree to that?
Sometime before we started complaining about bad pizza.
Ah, yes. I guess I should start off with Cole, if I'm gonna read all of them.
Yeah, you don't have to read all of them, but we figure we better give the devil his due. He was nice enough to leave 85 or so comments on episode 20. Well, not just him and his,
Psyche.
Yeah, how many pieces is it splintered into? I always lose track. I think does it say 85?
Yeah, 85 Disco Coles.
Good God. Well, you could read a few of your favorites.
Alright. Uh-oh. I think YouTube locked the comments. Yo guys, this comment section is looking like the chat between me and the last girl I tried to date. Exactly the same, actually. Word by word, identical.
And him with a kid.
Yeah.
Well, some people got it and some people don't.
Yep. The wise man of the old desert. Young man. You might have the build and temperament to do this task. Many have come to my hill top to accept this challenge. Do you have the warrior spirit to take up this burden?
Are you a bad enough dude to rescue the president?
Yes. As Shaolin monks move water and meditates on its nature, you shall undertake the same meditation. I shall do as you ask. Perfect. Here's the keys. There's the delivery list. Now never carry more than 2 at a time without the dolly. Payday is every other Friday. Is that how you got your job, John?
It's not dissimilar. Let's start with that. I wasn't necessarily trained by a Shaolin monk, but I am forklift certified.
What's a fortress certification?
I don't want to think about it.
I do.
Like, I can see a fortress being certified, but how does a person get certified as a fortress? Is that kind of the opposite of my body as a temple?
Do you take an oath of celibacy?
Well, I've been told my body is impenetrable.
Yeah, but that's just because the sword bounced off.
Don't like that.
Fun fact, John from the Excuse Me Princess Super Show always features as himself in all his side projects and guest appearances. Funner fact, Aaron is almost never himself in private or at work. Yes.
Also true.
I wear many hats, but never at the same time.
That is not true. I've seen you wear a hat once in the last 12 months.
Where was that, John?
That was at your bachelor party. And I think you were only wearing a hat because I was wearing the identical hat.
Oh, it was a good time.
It was. That's why there wasn't a mailbag that week.
Yeah. Or any additional recording. Or me being able to stand up on the Sunday morning. Or me being able to sit down on the Sunday morning. Or lie down on the Sunday morning.
Sunday morning just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Any more Cole comments?
You know what? Probably. There were 85 of them.
Yeah, but you hate clicking view replies.
Yeah. Okay, I know I said 100, but this feels like 100. Mission accomplished. Yes, it does feel like 100, Cole. 100 agonizing hours of reading your comments over and over again to make sure I did not miss anything.
Yeah, tell that to the guy who's signed in on YouTube's Studio app.
Yeah, that guy must suck. Or have had a really bad day that day.
Well, ironically, I'd say the last time my YouTube app blew up with notifications like that was when I put up the Zelda cartoon censored video.
Yeah. So should we move on to not Cole comments?
Yes. I think I sent you a couple of Lanola Colas.
Yes. Lanola Cola. Truth be told, my first exposure to Elvira was through a character referencing her in Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, appropriately named Atrocia. Speaking of Billy and Mandy, show creator Maxwell Adams did get to direct a direct-to-video Scooby-Doo Halloween movie which had Elvira in it, and also DC supervillain the Scarecrow too.
Oh, nice. I definitely haven't seen that one. I clocked out of those direct-to-video Scooby-Doo movies pretty early on. Like, there's the original 3 that were pretty good. Zombie Island, Alien Invaders, and the one with the Hex Girls.
Yes. And then you hated Return to Zombie Island.
Yeah. I saw a few clips of that, and I'm like, this is bullshit.
Hey, watch your language, young man.
Okay, this is horse shit.
Hey, watch your language, old man.
How many times do we gotta teach you this lesson, old man?
Oh. And now on to Lanola Cola again. Roto and Sidon. I know I'm butchering those names.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you just read them the way they're spelled, you'll do a lot better.
Rudo and Sidon.
Rudo.
Sidon.
It's
Rito.
like Poseidon. Sidon. Like Poseidon.
Rito and Sidon definitely awoke something in people.
Vito and Psyduck.
Rita Repulsa and Psyduck definitely awoke something in people. And I fear for them.
Now you're editorializing. But yeah, no, it's a fairly well-known fact. But thank you, as always, for the comments.
And now, on to my favorite segment. John, what did you have for supper?
I had hot dogs that I grilled myself.
Nice.
What did you have for supper?
I'm having a Pepsi Cola.
Hey, everyone, drink Snapple.
This is a non-paid advertisement.
I might just drop in the clip from Wayne's World there. It'd be an excuse to watch Wayne's World again.
We should watch it. And not tell anyone about it.
Yeah, this will be the last you hear about Wayne's World, I'm sure.
Yeah.
At least until that certain, that one special live-action Mario segment I keep alluding to that's a little different. But that being said, we got one more double up of Dr. Derp letters. And once we have read these, we will be completely up to date on them.
All right. I will be back in 25 minutes to catch up on what I missed.
Yeah, to pretend you were listening.
Yeah.
All right. Kiss and Tell / Mommy's Curse or Keith David in the Evil Jar.
I guess
Like, okay, Keith David voiced Spawn. Maybe that's it?
Maybe.
I'm sorry, Dr. Derp. I'm sure this is funny. I'm just too thick to get it sometimes. Maybe it'll reveal itself in the letter.
And that's with 7 C's, a Q,
Yeah.
a W, a number 3, Alpha, Omega, and
That's all right. Section 31's terminated our feed for mentioning Omega.
oh yeah. Oh.
All right. Hey, John and Aaron. I've gotten all the heart containers, stamina wheels, and armor upgrades I could afford in time for this week's episode. Very good. Oh, are you following along so you'll know when I'm speaking for myself?
Yeah, I am now.
Excellent. As you can probably tell, I've been really into Tears of the Kingdom. Probably my favorite Zelda game I've played to date, followed closely by The Wind Waker. Good choices. I did finally pay for that higher Nintendo Switch Online tier, so it's a matter of time before I finally play those classic N64 Zeldas, as well as the one Mario and Luigi game. Oh yeah, the game, the GBA one. The original, that's on there.
Didn't we play that recently?
Nope. No, that's Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, the RPG.
Oh.
Yeah. What kind of Go ahead.
I thought that we played the one where at the arcade with Mario and Luigi. But I was very drunk by the end of that because even though I wasn't going there to get drunk, people kept on handing me drinks.
It happens.
Yeah.
No, we didn't play any Mario and Luigi games there, with the exception of maybe Donkey Kong. And Crazy Taxi.
That was fun.
That was fun.
Shout out to Quentin, who did a fantastic job on Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, I never did hook up the Dreamcast to see how well I could do. I really should do that. Okay.
Join us on Twitch next week.
Yeah. This is why you never mess with Mommy's meatball and zucchini recipe. Or maybe it's why you should. Depends on how badly you want to meet Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. What kind of misadventures did the Mario brothers get up to in which they acquired a book of curses and various ingredients for a witch's brew? I'm sorry, I should say witch's brew. I don't know how well that'll come out in recording. I do an okay Homestar, but not well. Should I be concerned? Hearing
Yes.
Danny Wells do his zombie grunts, it's not hard to recognize the various bit parts he played in the cartoons like that albatross in Jungle Fever. Egg in the face, crash landing. Oh yeah. That's the one that threw the itching powder bomb that blew up half the world. One phone call to Elvira later, and some failed attempts to reverse the curse go south. Not all of these land, but seeing all the different monster costumes is amusing, and I guess the My Fair Lady reference is amusing. It's better than Elvira doing hip-hop? We haven't hit that episode yet, have we? No. As I warned Aaron, if he thinks bad hip-hop is a deal breaker, he's in for some real pain.
Oh.
Yeah, this one didn't do it for me, but it... Pardon me. Yeah, this one didn't do it for me, but I at least appreciate seeing Elvira as herself, even if she doesn't do the Mario. Thoughts on Kiss and Tell? Why does that Gleeok sound like Keith David? Oh, okay.
Okay. Just
kinda.
gonna rewind back a bit. Elvira wasn't herself. Herself is a lady named Cassandra.
Yeah. Yeah, she wasn't born Elvira.
Yeah, we've been over this. Well,
Yeah.
not
Don't
at the time that you wrote this, but...
Yeah, that might be part of the problem.
Yeah. Okay, fast forward. Why does the Gleeok sound like Keith David?
If he's anything like the Gleeoks from Tears of the Kingdom, he's a pain to fight without the armor upgrades. But someone has to save Tabitha St. Germain, right? Well, being saved by a warrior princess apparently isn't good enough for her, so the heck with it. She can fight her own Gleeoks. Well, here's Link to fight the Gleeok anyway. I gotta make my text bigger. That might help me not stumble so bad. And this entire sequence is an excellent start to the episode. Yeah, I agree. They were doing lots of cool choreography. Zelda was backflipping all over the place. I feel like there are a handful of Zelda cartoons that open with monster fights like this, and it clearly works well. Shout out to Zelda with the banana peel. I wish I could do that in Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, that would be cool. Keep watching those IGN Here's Things You Didn't Know in Tears of the Kingdom videos, and maybe you'll see it someday. Actually, now that I think about it, the Gleeok sounds more like that lion from Care Bears. I can kind of hear that. Recently, I had the old doing the recipe for those peanut butter balls come up in TikTok, so I got reminded what he sounds like, and it's kind of there. Did you watch much Care Bears, Aaron?
Do I remember watching Care Bears is the bear question.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, pretend I asked that.
No, but Fraggle Rock is top, 2 out of any childhood TV show that you could ever watch.
I'll put Fraggle Rock over Care Bears.
Yeah. I'll also put it over Barney, Muppets, Sesame Street, Power Rangers.
Okay, let's stop now.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I don't have much nostalgia for the original Turtles show. It was just a bit before my time. So, okay. Not gonna lie though, it's always disappointing when your reward for beating the difficult monster is getting turned into a frogman. I think we've all been there at one point or another. I guess it's better than spending time in the evil jar, though. Speaking of which, could you imagine if Ganon, spelled with 2 N's again, Ganon Band, that's 2 Ganon Bands, had the same backstory as his game counterpart from Ocarina of Time onward? Dude was a badass warrior at one point, and now he's a pig. Maybe this frogman plot is compensating for something. I don't know. I have thoughts on Pig Ganon I'll share till the end. That's me, not him.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, though, Frogman Link is kind of adorable. In a Muppet kind of way. A shame he has no shield to deflect Ganon, that's 4, backstabbing finger blasts. On a brighter note, he doesn't have to cook up complicated recipes to get a health boost. What a game mechanic being a frogman would be. Well, at least you get that one armor set that helps you climb in the rain. That's pretty good. One treasure hunting quest from the Triforce of Wisdom later, and Link learns the secret of turning back into a human, and it's unsurprising to anyone who knows their fairy tales and or Disney princess movies from 2009. Come to think of it, the twist ending isn't too different from the 2009 movie either. Did you ever see Princess and the Frog?
Hold on one moment, John.
Okay. What's that?
This is weird. I'm getting that weird monster feedback again.
Okay. Well, just want to hang up and call back, see if it works?
One moment.
Got to pay your dues if you want to sing the blues, and you know it don't come easy.
Alright, I am back, and I was right. It is the battery on my headset.
Sounds like your dog's growling.
What?
Sounds like your dog's growling.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, very good. So, what's the plan? You going to keep switching ears until you run out of battery?
This one says it has 50% off. 50% off batteries.
That's a good deal. Okay. Does the ending feel a little abrupt? Perhaps, but it fit the time limit pretty well. Once again, the Zelda cartoon brings some much-needed life into the air date order. Yeah, very true. Oh, and we're going to wish for the opposite of life in the next one. Favorite moment? The Gleeok fight, followed by Frog Link contemplating his appetite for spiders. Books or hip-hop? He says, books. I feel most Zelda cartoons will end up being books.
I feel like
true.
This one was more of a weird hip-hop experimental version.
Oh, yeah. I can see that. It's a hip-hop nursery rhyme. Unintentional foreshadowing count. Zelda fights Gleeok by throwing fruit, much like how one can in Tears of the Kingdom and presumably Breath of the Wild. Also, the plan by Ganon, that's 5, to turn Link into a frogman isn't too different from the various traps the Yiga Clan lays in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Also, the Witch of Walls brings to mind the core gameplay gimmick of A Link Between Worlds. Oh, yeah. I hadn't thought of it that way, but that's not too far off. Maybe there's a Zelda game where you can surprise enemies with a dropped tarp, but I'm unaware of it. That's 3 plus the 4 from the previous episodes for a total of 7. MVP of the episode? Frog Link. Zelda gets some great moments to shine too, and Elvira actually shows up on set. It's a miracle. Updated top 5. Since there are significantly fewer Zelda cartoons than Mario, he's going to keep it to a top 3. He's got White Knight, Kiss and Tell, and Cold Spells. I think that's fair enough.
Yes.
That's about where that's where we put ours too. Cold Spells at the bottom. But
isn't there
yeah, he didn't really rate The Ringer, I guess.
No.
Fair enough. The Ringer was okay, not great.
Although above Cold Spells, though.
Yes, I would too, now that you think about it. But, hey, Cold Spells has some interesting set pieces.
Yeah.
No update for the live-action rappers. It was a bit of a dud. Finally, I present my current Yop 10 of Mario characters, Zelda cartoons, and the live-action rappers combined. So his top 10 in total: White Knight, Toad Warrior, Kiss and Tell, Slime Busters, Stars in Their Eyes, ew, Butch Mario and the Luigi Kid, The Great BMX Race, Alligator Dundee, The Fire of Hercules, and Cold Spells.
You just don't like Stars in Their Eyes because it's bad.
That's why. Yeah. Those who know me know how forgiving I am, but Stars in Their Eyes really didn't sit with me. Okay, question of the week. What's that?
That, and it's not based off of Star Trek 2.
No, it ain't. Like, not even tangentially.
No.
Question of the week. Assuming a Link Frogman transformation sounds like a good idea to incorporate into a future Zelda game, what other animal transformations would you like to see? It'd be nice to have a mole transformation for making underground travel and mining easier. I don't know. I think animal transformations is kind of a Mario bit.
But if I was to go with a Link transformation, I don't know.
And also, Link had mole mittens in Skyward Sword, I think. I mean, it didn't turn him into the drill from Mario Sunshine or Mario Galaxy, but he did have them. What were you saying, Aaron?
What would I have Link transform into?
Yeah.
Well, he did a frog, and that gave him a tongue. I don't know. I think maybe like a falcon transformation would be good. Instead of the glider, being able to just fly instead.
Well, that'd be interesting. As long as he doesn't end up like Tobias and remembers to get out of his morph before 2 hours are up.
Oh.
Next week, we'll learn why you shouldn't accept bogus beans from Sussy Koopa Wizards. We will? Yeah, that wasn't just an obscure musical theater reference. That was Mario cartoon foreshadowing. See you next time.
I'm pretty sure next week we don't learn that.
No. Because that's the episode we're talking about right now. And that's Lost Dog and the baby shit.
Oh.
So, I don't know.
Get into that letter and see how much. So it's been a couple of weeks since we recorded this this episode. So
Yeah, and I've only listened to the first 15 minutes in the edit. Like, we're in a weird. I'm not going to make an Inception joke, but we're recording this mailbag before I've finished editing episode 21, but where we've recorded it recently enough that it's still in our minds, so this ought to be interesting.
I don't think it's ever leaving our minds.
No, but we're not reacting to faded memories like we sometimes are with this.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
Revenge
the
of the
next mailbag.
Yeah, whatever that's going to be, which we're blissfully unaware of. All right, Revenge of the Mail. 2 Plumbers and a Baby / Lost Dog, or Baby Herman Swallowed the Rattle Again. Was Baby Herman the one in Roger Rabbit, or... Yeah, I think it was. I was going to say, or is it the one owned by the people who do Casper, but that's Baby Huey, I think. Any idea?
If only we had Google at our fingertips.
Yeah, shame we don't. This must be what it feels like for other people to talk to us when we make references they don't get.
Baby Herman is Roger Rabbit's friend and co-star.
Yes. Hiya, John and Aaron. By the time you're reading
Hiya,
this...
Dr. Derp.
Yeah. Hiya, Dr. Derp. By the time you're reading this, you should just about be caught up with the mailbag. Yeah, we will be
We
pretty
are!
soon. Yeah, as soon as we're done reading this. Which means I will be under even more pressure to avoid typos going forward without the, well, I wrote that a month ago excuse. First time instead of last time, that miserable pirate episode really sucked a lot out of me. Yeah, it had that effect on a few people. That doesn't excuse you getting Ganon banned repeatedly and at length, but, everyone's got their gimmick, I guess. Anyway, on to the show. Thoughts on Lost Dog? I was surprised to learn Cher did not guest star as herself at the end of Cher's Poochie. Perhaps the assumption that it was her made me needlessly forgiving of it. Or maybe it was because it was the first time I had ever... Let me try this one more time. I'm losing it here. Or maybe it was because it was the first time I ever had to write something about a live-action rapper for the show. In any case, my goodwill toward live-action rappers about dogs is running thin.
Same.
Yeah, I hear you. I think we've done it twice, and that's too many. But
By
like
3
we said,
at least.
yeah, and like we said in the episode, the dog in Cher's Poochie was a better actor than the dog in Lost Dog.
Yeah.
The Cher's Poochie one was a stage dog that's used to the commotion. The one in Lost Dog looked absolutely terrified. Before the cartoon, there was at least one decent joke. After the cartoon, there is more recycled film. I guess that's amusing. I guess the plotline with Luigi's bird calls foreshadows the end, but Luigi's dog calls are a downgrade from last week's monster costumes and My Fair Lady reference. Okay, so apparently My Fair Lady is where they're going around singing about the rain in Spain.
Yes.
Which is good. Thank you, Dr. Derp. For once, not only do we understand what you're talking about, but you explained something to us.
And we appreciate that.
Yes.
Speaking of Spain,
Just
in
don't let it happen
2026,
again.
I will be in...
Go ahead.
In 2026, I'll be in Spain. John, not so much.
No, not so much. Not for $4,000.
Oh.
I mean, not for a reasonable price for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to see a once-in-a-lifetime event that you might have missed 2 years before. I don't think this is an awful script, but the execution is just a big bowl of bleh. Thoughts on 2 Plumbers?
An awful script.
Yeah, what's script? There's a script? It's not my understanding. Thoughts on 2 Plumbers and a Baby. What did I say? What did the Koopa Wizard say? Those giant making magic beans always have nasty side effects that you have to listen carefully for at the end of the infomercial, and in this case it was a sudden loss of maturity over exposure to water. Or after exposure to water. It didn't even have to be Fountain of Youth water, let alone Fountain of Youth water set to maximum overdrive. I feel like exposing characters to the Fountain of Youth is a popular cartoon trope, but at the top of my head, the only other examples I can think of are from Peabody and Sherman and Ben 10, 2 very different cartoons. Yeah, I've seen it before too, but I couldn't pull the examples out of thin air either.
Yeah, well...
But, I mean, there's always an episode of those schlockier cartoons where one of the characters is turned into a baby, even if it's not just Fountain of Youth stuff. You know, even good cartoons will start doing it. Like, you know, Futurama had that great episode where they all started regressing in age.
Oh, I remember that episode.
Yeah, but I mean, it had one of my all-time favorite Professor Farnsworth lines in there. When the lady manning the tar spa says,
Sir, it's not necessary or wise to be naked.
You sound just like my tennis instructor.
don't worry, I'll cut the real clip over that. You don't have to listen to my bad Professor Farnsworth. It's better than my Professor Iris because no one remembers what Professor Iris sounds like. The design of the setting brings to mind the old Silly Symphonies short Lullaby Land. Oh, I think I remember that.
I do.
Not a particular favorite of mine, but it's something. Otherwise, the setting isn't particularly interesting, except as something thematically and cartoonishly tied to the Fountain of Youth. Does Koopa benefit from putting babies into slave labor? On the other hand, maybe this is in fact Koopa's most diabolical plan, depending on how hard you think about it. I don't want to think about it, because the question is, why the hell is Koopa dressed like a baby?
Yeah.
Is that just so that the other babies will listen to him?
No, it's just his preference.
They waste no time before jumping into the cover song, and it's a cover song. A very gimmicky piece of bubblegum pop that could only have come from the 1950s. I guess it's better than the Mario 3 music. I disagree.
I think this time the Mario 3 music was better. Not by much.
No.
But...
What was the old saying? A poke in the eyes better than a kick in the balls?
I'd rather not have either.
Yeah. But only because it is exclusive to the episode and not just copy-pasted. Yeah, no dogs barking this time. At least I didn't remember it. But of course, the real premise of the week, this episode's namesake even, is the Mario's taking care of a de-aged baby Peach. The best way to describe this episode would be a comparison to the Roger Rabbit Baby Herman shorts, minus the impressive animation that makes them entertaining. But to be fair, the gags that ensue when they're taking care of Peach are probably the best parts of the episode.
There are no best parts of this episode.
No. I mean, at least there was something, like Toad constantly talking about how, babysitting is either easy or hard, depending on what's going on. It was the usual babysitting cartoon garbage where everyone turns away for a split second and turns back and the baby's in the construction site. Or
just like Baby Genius.
Yeah. Or like that old Yogi Bear short with the baby that's constantly chasing a kitty, which is a mountain lion. Does that ring a bell to you?
No.
No, it's one, I had a tape of Hanna-Barbera cartoons, Have Picnic Basket, Will Travel. They were all summer themed. It was like 3 Yogi Bears, 2 Huckleberry Hounds, a Pixie and Dixie, a Flintstones right at the end. Whatever the hyena and the lion who are based off Laurel and Hardy, there's one of those. And I think that's it. But anyway, in the middle Yogi Bear one, the name of which I don't remember, there's a baby constantly going back and forth in its crib, which looks more like a cage, and it keeps breaking out to chase a kitty, which is a mountain lion, and it's dragging it by the tail. And of course no one believes Yogi when he tries to warn them, because they think he's just trying to beg for a picnic basket.
Yes.
But don't worry, somehow it has a happy ending. Anyway, it's weird. The middle of this episode is cute, but the King Koopa plot that bookends it isn't particularly interesting. I think it's much worse than that. That being said, I do appreciate how the Mario brothers saved the day by using their plumbing skills. Yes, that's 1 point. That keeps it above 0.
That keeps it in the positives.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't expect them to write us a check for making us watch it.
No.
I mean, somebody should be paying us for this. Maybe, when we quadruple our viewership, we can get comfortable enough to actually start begging for money seriously, instead of ironically.
If you would like to support our endeavors, please book travel through Aaron Shanahan, the Travel Plan Man.
Yeah.
I forgot who I was for a second.
This episode causes a bit of a disassociation thing with everybody, I think.
Yeah. Oh.
Where was it? We're in the middle. Cute. That being said, I do appreciate the plumbing skills. Also, we get my favorite animation error to date. Good thing we used the extra pipe for this Koopa catcher, huh, Mario? And this episode was half animated and half-assed.
Yeah.
Favorite joke? That no good diaper dictator? No, don't call attention to the diaper thing, show.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to, because as we discussed, it looks
It's
like...
shit.
Yeah, well, that too. But I mean, it also looks like, because Koopa's tail is in it. Unintentional foreshadowing. 2 words, Baby Peach, and I guess by extension all the baby variants of Mario characters. One might even say that this isn't the last time Peach is a baby. Oh yeah, I think I know what he's talking about. I'll just say it now because there's no way you'll remember. I think there's a Mario 3 episode that retreads this a little. But not quite so disturbingly. Also, Mario probably uses a glider in a Mario Party minigame or two. Well, what about the gliders are in Mario Kart coming from 7. That's a reference for you.
Yeah.
So his count is 27. My count is still 5. 5 Ganon bands. Yes. MVP of the episode, Baby Peach. Who else? Yeah, fair enough.
Us for having to watch it.
Yeah. Updated top 5. You know what? Thanks to Lost Dog alone, I think it's time for the bottom 10. Or the bottom whatever. The dishonorable mentions, the episodes with the bad reps, the so uncivilized tier. Neatness counts, Day of the Orphan, Mario's Magic Carpet, both magic episodes, except the one with an actual magician in it. Cher's Poochie, Pirates of the Koopa, Mommy's Curse, and Lost Dog. Yeah, I'd say that sounds about right. That sounds like the bottom third to me.
Yeah. Oh.
This isn't in any particular order, and I'm not going to bring up the list every other mail time or anything. I'll just make a point when something belongs in the so uncivilized tier. Question of the week. It's Aaron's favorite part. Describe your pet in a way that Luigi could hypothetically do a funny animal call. I say hypothetically because the calls in the episode weren't funny.
Oh. Well, you see, he's part devil. And the other part is also devil, but from another religion. And
one of those religions where the ruler of hell isn't necessarily a bad guy.
Yeah.
So the James was Hades when you combine the two.
Yeah. And he has 3 heads.
And his
But
comic gets really, really serious halfway through.
Yeah. And...
Good, I think I accidentally covered over a really bad innuendo you just made, because it took me a second to get it. So wait, your dog is an echidna with a missing...
1 second.
Oh.
Stop doing that.
You know, you could have had those plugged in today.
Yeah, well, I was working. And not at the, Aaron Shanahan, the Travel Plan Man office. Or at the Excuse Me, Princess Super Show office.
Yeah, your kitchen table. Okay.
Or at the Excuse Me, Princess Super Show second office.
Yeah, which is my pantry. Anyway, the only way to describe my pet accurately would be... what's the nicest way to say dead? But yeah, no, I don't currently have a pet, so whatever joke you say for a dead dog.
Yeah.
Next week's episode seems like an elementary subject for a movie parody. See you next time.
Man, I hope Robert Downey Jr. is our guest star.
Yeah, or at least Jude Law.
Maybe that Cumberbatch gentleman.
That strange doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's it for the mailbag. Thanks for writing, and as usual, you can reach out to the show in the way that I'm about to say in the episode we recorded 2 weeks ago. And if you want to reach out to the show, you can send us an email at excusemesupshow@gmail.com.
Send us a tweet at excusemesupshow. which is 2 characters too long for the Twitter handle, which we're the 2 characters, forcing it back into your face.
Nice. Reach out to us. We're on Facebook at Excuse Me Super Show, Blue Sky at Excuse Me Super Show, and TikTok at Excuse Me Super Show, where we got some of our best of clips. And side-by-side comparisons of the cover song and the music they replaced it with.
Yes. This one here is going to be another one where it is...
Yes, that.
Oh.
So, to close it out so we can go and try and forget this ever happened, you want to do your predictions for the next episode?
I would love to do my predictions for the next episode. It's going to be better.
I think there's a good chance of that. Not a great chance, but a good chance. Just waiting for the dog to lie down again. Alright, the hell with it. Okay, so the next episode, the live action segment.
He was just out. He's just trying to get attention.
So for the next episode, the live action segment is Plumbers of the Year.
Ooh, Foreman Spike is back in town.
Oh, Mario, you almost hit my car. I liked him in that movie.
Yeah.
There was a nice little touch where he's the one who cheers them at the end.
It's, the Plumbers Union is debating on whether or not the Mario Brothers get to stay in the Plumbers Union for their shoddy workmanship. And illegal practices, harboring an illegal electrician.
Capturing and raising an endangered animal, the ratigator. The fact that they seem to have a periscope that can look anywhere in their basement.
Yeah. That was
their empty, cramped, angry, and voyeuristic basement.
Yeah. The periscope was actually a gift from the NSA.
Oh. Back when they had a lot more free time. Okay. But, and for once, I didn't catch a glimpse of the synopsis, so I'm going to say it's more like Mario and Luigi are competing, and they both think they're going to be Plumber of the Year.
And it's Foreman Spike.
And it's Foreman Spike. He's not even a plumber. Okay, and the cartoon next time. Oh, here's another tough one. The Adventures of Sherlock Mario.
Oh, that's a good one. This is going to be just straight up. Which Sherlock Holmes story would it be?
Yeah, I was going to say, which current Sherlock Holmes property should I reference? But no, because, Adventures is the first collection of short stories released after A Study in Scarlet, the first novel. Or was that The Sign of the Four?
I don't know. I'm actually going through, and I don't know my Sherlock that well.
No. You know what you got to watch? And I'm leaving this in because I will talk about how great the show is. The 1980s Granada Television, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, starring Jeremy Brett. So good. Hour-long anthology format is the way to adapt the Sherlock Holmes short stories. And it was one of the first modern productions, modern as in 30, 40 years ago, to not have Idiot Watson. They remember that he's John Watson, MD, war hero. He's not an idiot. But anyway, it's a great show. I recommend it. The first 2 seasons are some good stuff. As for this, it's gonna be Mario as Sherlock Holmes. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
What else could it be? So,
you know what? I'm
Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century. Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century.
Now I have another question for you.
Oh yeah, we were actually trying to figure out which Sherlock Holmes story it'll be.
No,
Koopa and Mario going over the Reichenbach Falls.
Oh.
But the Reichenbach Falls is like pasta sauce. Or something.
1989 marinara.
We're going over the Rigatoni Falls. Anyway, what was your question before I was so
Do you
rudely
ever
interrupting?
watch either Sherlock or Elementary? Which was the one with Lucy Liu?
Anyway, Lucy Liu, that was Elementary. My dad really likes reruns of that.
Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty good. That's the TV American one, and then of course Sherlock is the UK one that started off good and then got worse as Stephen Moffat tried to split his time between it and Doctor Who and did worse at both.
yeah. I hear the latest one of his Doctor Who's is actually really, really good.
I've heard that. At time of recording, we're a few episodes into the 15th Doctor's tenure, the Ncuti Gatwa, and I haven't had a chance to watch any of them, but apparently he's really good, and the show is pretty good again.
Yeah.
So, we'll be catching up on that. But yeah, so this is a really roundabout way of saying it's going to be Mario as Sherlock Holmes, someone stealing spaghetti.
And did you also know that I heard this as a rumor
You just don't want me to close the show. What's the rumor, Aaron?
that House MD is actually based on Sherlock as well.
Yeah. It's not a rumor.
Oh, good.
It's not like directly based off of Holmes, but he's that kind of a notice the intricate detail detective,
Yeah.
eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however unlikely, must be the truth. Drug addict, brilliant. It's like a combination of Holmes and Watson because he's also a crippled doctor.
Yeah.
So, or I should say a doctor with a leg injury because I think you're not supposed to use that word anymore. I think it's ableist. And I'm not making fun of that. If it is, then I'll stop. But it kind of gets lost these days with people who are making jokes about that stuff and people who aren't.
Yeah.
We just want to talk about anything that isn't the episode we just watched.
Yeah. Which is fair enough. This episode was the worst.
Yeah. But we'll see if the next episode this is the worst because I'm John.
I'm actually Aaron this time.
Yeah.
And until next time.
Slow piano.
Let's see if we can do a better job at Do the Mario than Pam did.
I think we can do a better show of it. So, then we should try and do a better job of it. So until next time, everybody.
Do the Mario!
Hang on, we didn't talk about all the animation errors. There were quite a few of them. Two or three immediately come to mind. What about you?
Well, the eyes, or
Yeah.
lack thereof.
Which we don't know for sure if that was an error or not.
The wrong hat on Luigi.
Yeah, at one point, Luigi and Mario both got red hats.
The skin instead of shadow.
Yeah, that was the one I caught and had to back up. The, Mario is talking about, we're gonna have to go and save the people Koopa has. And when he turns, the shadow mark under his hat is colored the same as his face.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's at least 3. And there was some really just kind of really bad staging and animation, too.
Yeah.
And then...
like we mentioned, the pasta power was just
Yeah.
jittery, and...
What number does that bring us up to?
That would be 3.
No, pasta power.
Oh, that's a good question.
We've also forgot the pasta power.
Oh. This episode brought us to a rage that we haven't seen in a while, John.
Yeah, I'm just bringing up the pasta power count now. As of episode... I haven't updated it in a while. It was 10 as of episode 14, and it went up since then, so it would have been 11 as of episode 18?
I want to say, I thought it was 12 or 13.
No, there was just the one with the... It was in...
Because there was the one with episode 14. Then there was definitely one in the Brooklyn Bound.
Yeah.
I feel like
Okay.
there's at least one more.
I listened to this fairly recently, and you said you wrote it down. But I guess you didn't write it down in this.
No.
Okay, so great. Not only did we forget the pasta power count, but we don't actually know where we are. How about Aaron pauses the recording while we quickly check? Okay, we checked, And yeah, as of last episode, that brought it up to 11 as of episode 19. And I say last episode, that was the last one we uploaded before this recording. So now as of episode 21, the pasta power count is up to 12.
Unless there's a pasta power in the Zelda episode, which I highly doubt.
Yeah, we'll see. The next one is an interesting one. I got the cheat sheet out if you want to hear a few more of the animation errors before we sign off.
You know what? No.
No?
Yeah, go ahead. Give me 2, and also give me one interesting fact about Toad.
Okay. Oh, yeah, the infant Peach's nose disappears a few times.
Right.
The fireflies disappear. We did mention that.
Yes. I thought that was more intentional than anything else.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, like, they just weren't there. We don't see them fly away. They just aren't there anymore. The old men's canes disappear.
So that's 2, and an interesting fact about Toad.
Okay. One interesting fact about Toad is that...
John Stalker voices him?
Probably.
At least according to IMDb.
Yeah. Who the heck knows anymore?
Oh.
I got nothing interesting about Toad.
He stretches.
Yeah, we've seen him do that.
Alright.
Okay. So until next time, everybody.
Do the Mario!
But while they're in the middle of it...
He just wants to be part of the episode.
Well, he's going to be in as little of it as I can get away with.